Hello there, everybody. I hope you are doing so well. I really am glad to be here with you to do this new moon in Leo reading. Like I am, I always look forward to both new and full moons. I don't know about you all, and I look forward to doing these readings for you all. But this one, anytime we get into Leo energy, where, ruled by the sun, its life-giving properties, its energy of creativity, of playfulness. In tarot, Leo is represented by the major arcana strength card, as many of you probably know. And often in that card, we will see an image of a child on a horseback or something that just indicates freedom and playfulness and life and summer and brightness and all of those things. So we really need that energy now more than ever. I do know that astrologically this new moon is occurring while we've got some planets, quite a few planets, I think, in retrograde. But that's not always a bad thing. Sometimes retrograde energy is just about going back and reviewing things, assessing, taking some time to reflect before we make, serious moves going forward, right? All right. So that said, I've got 3 piles in front of me. Spirit led me to pull catalyst cards for you to choose today instead of gemstones. So, and someone pointed out, I forget that the way I'm looking at the cards and the way you look at them are different. So I've been doing 1, 2, 3, but this probably looks like 3 on your end. So today we're going to do it from your angle. This will be pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. All right. So your catalyst cards, so you can tune in and see where you get your message. Oh, and by the way, the words that Spirit gave me today was your biggest flex. Your biggest flex, meaning, and in popular jargon today, your flex means like where you show up, where you make moves, where you make progress, where you leave your imprint on the world. All right. So this new moon in Leo, thinking about your biggest flex, what your guides want to tell you right now, a message that you need around how you really show up in the world, how you can show up, show up, should be experiencing your life at this time. All right. So we have pile number 1, your catalyst cards. I have a timing element or a month element and an energy here. November came up for you, as well as heart. That also makes me think of Thanksgiving for some reason. All right. But pile number 1, and it says here the meaning on the bottom of this card, it says love, deep affection, and caring. And again, the time frame is November. That could be a birthday, anniversary, something, travel, anything, but somehow November will come into play for you all, pile number 1. All right. Pile number 2, January is the time frame that came up, something relevant about January, and a tankard came up for you all. And it says celebration, fun, and enjoyment. I love that as well. We were talking about Leo energy, right? Being playful, being, showing up, childlike sometimes, taking your moment to shine, not dimming your light for anybody. So you've got that tankard and January, pile number 2. And finally, pile number 3, if you're drawn to that, we have a right in the moment Spirit gave me, July and bread. And it says period of prosperity and abundance. Bread representing prosperity and abundance. So we have July and bread for pile number 3. Okay? So take a moment. And you all, if you've been with me before, you know how this goes. You may resonate with more than one pile. I have many people who read all 3 or listen to all 3 and get messages from the guides for all 3. So just go with however your heart leads you. November and heart, pile number 1. January and a tankard, celebration, fun, enjoyment, pile number 2. And July and bread with a period of prosperity and abundance, pile number 3. Okay? All right, so we're going to put pile number 3 and pile number 2 over here to the side. And let's go in pile number 1. Those you're drawn to this November and heart. I'm going to put those up here. And let's see what comes for you. So we have convention, interesting. Venus in Capricorn in the 10th house. So what are you establishing? This new moon in Leo, in terms of your biggest flex, could be around your job, around projects that you want to start, around your home. Convention meaning what systems in your life are really calling you right now to make sure it's solid and it's stable and it's growing. Venus, what you value. Capricorn, that structure and goals and ambition that you may have. We have justice that comes, your tarot. Doing what's right, feeling more balanced around what's conventional and what's playful, because remember we're talking about a new moon in Leo, being playful, taking time, matters of the heart. Leo also rules the heart, by the way. So thinking about that, what really makes you feel alive, and having more balance around what makes you feel alive. You've got the Six of Swords here, pile number one. How are you moving forward? Or keeping your eye, I just heard from Spirit, keep your eye on the prize. Because we know the Six of Swords is an energy of moving forward, but not in a haphazard way. Not just like jumping out there and making, major moves in your life or major changes in your life, but really taking the time to plan it. You've got the Queen of Cups, nurturing. And I said that before I even just looked down and saw saw that on the card. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you for that. I promise you, I heard it in my head, and then I looked down and saw the word. So nurturing yourself, nurturing what you've built, that convention, what keeps you stable, but also finding balance in it, making decisions about how to move forward in a way that is nurturing, that makes you feel okay rather than anxious. And oh my goodness, did you not get the sun? Wow, pile number one. What rules Leo? The sun. Harmony and bliss. And that is also, I think, why you got this justice card, pile number one, because remember, this energy so far is about you finding a balance in feeling nurtured at the same time that you're producing, at the same time that you're working hard, that you're planning, that you're building this life of what you stand for, of what makes you feel safe and secure and successful, doing what you love, but enjoying doing what you love. You have enchanted, the moonlight. This is a time for you, pile number one, to feel the magic of what you are creating. You as a creative being, remembering as well that Leo is a very creative energy. And enchanted is remembering things in life that make you feel sort of starstruck or awestruck, like moonlight can feel enchanting, like the mystery of it, not always knowing everything that's going to happen. That's why you got that Six of Swords. It's like enjoying the journey towards what you are building, towards what still will be built, towards having that playfulness, feeling enchanted by life itself. And you have compassion. That goes so beautifully. In fact, I'm going to put it over here with this nurturing, with that Queen of Cups. There's an energy here for you all that's growing. I see as the cards are coming together that part of your magic right now, pile number one, and when I'm talking about your magic, I'm talking about manifestation, because remember too, that's a big deal around the new moon in general, right? Is having the ability to manifest, having the ability and the desire to set new goals for yourself, to set intentions, to be intentional in your thoughts, in your actions. So this compassion, there's something about you connecting to how you feel about your home, about your job, about what makes you feel accomplished. That if you can tap into a feeling of enchantment, wow, how beautiful this is, that despite whatever the challenges have been, I have been able to create this, or Spirit has brought me these people in my life or these circumstances in my life. You see what I'm saying? Having that sense of compassion. You've got the mother that comes for you as an archetype. Wow. Of all the queens in tarot, it could be argued that the Queen of Cups is, in her own way, the most mothering, because she is water, and water is life. Water, our bodies are what, 90% water? So you have the mother that comes as well. And she says here, nurturance, there we go with that word nurturing again, patience, unconditional love, joy in giving birth to life. You see that? What are you bringing to life, pile number one? That's what's happening here. The more you can connect with the joy and enchantment of the things that you are creating that bring you stability, your home, your career, your relationships, your bank balance, right? Your money, etc. Those tangible things that are often represented by Venus, and certainly when Capricorn is in the mix. The more you get into the life-giving properties of that, the sun, then the more it will grow. The more it'll come, the more you'll see clearly how to get there with that Six of Swords. Doggone if you don't have rebirth. All right, pile number one. I hope you're feeling it. This is giving me some chills and shivers, because we've got this mothering energy, and it may not be giving birth from something new, but a rebirth. Remembering that when I introduced the video, Spirit reminded us a lot of the planets astrologically right now are in retrograde, right? So rebirth could very well be going back over, new beginnings, taking something that you used to do or thought about doing, or a project or a goal that you set for yourself, and maybe life got in the way and you were just like, I'll get around to that later. There's something in this life-giving energy of this new moon in Leo that's saying, hey, when's the last time you thought about that? Now might be a really good time to go back to it. You've got release, control in Taurus. Taurus being the ruler of Venus, by the way, many of you know, right? Releasing control. Because this is speaking to a responsibility that many of you feel, to have control, to feel like owning up that what you do results in what you get, right? But Spirit is saying, don't play down the fact that there's a lot happening around you and outside of you that also can contribute to what you see. It's not all on you. You do not have to be the one that makes everything okay. You've got this spirit. And they just reminded me, this is both nurturing within you, but also nurturing around you. This is your spirit guides. This is your spirit team. This is, for some of you, this is a mother or a grandmother who may or may not be with us still. And this is also an archetype of the mother, the divine feminine mother that's coming up. And so that release control, especially in Taurus, where Taurus, again, earthy, what we have, what we value, our money, our lifestyle, our ability to produce, all those things represented in Venus. And certainly when it comes with Capricorn energy. Look, you got playfulness, pile number one. I mean, if this is not a timely and divinely guided message, and I promise you with everything in me, I do not see these cards until I reveal them. That's one reason I get excited. You've got this playfulness. That's like, if that's not this Leo, the new moon in Leo energy that we were talking about, look at that. Playfulness, the sun, feeling enchanted by life. There's a certain innocence here. The rebirth is sort of like an innocence, and letting spirit rock you in its arms a little bit, pile number one. Like letting yourself be almost childlike and really, being playful. I just saw like they're showing me tricycles and playgrounds and teeter totters. I don't know if they even still have those, but they had them when I was a kid. There's this maze of perfection that comes up. This is, I think, not perfection as in being driven towards perfection, but thinking that goes back to this enchanted, thinking about your life unfolding perfectly. That's exactly how Spirit just gave that to me. Think about your life unfolding perfectly. The timing, some of you are a little discouraged about timing. I don't know if it's because you're feeling something's delayed or that you've wasted time, or maybe you're getting a little older, a little more mature, and haven't seen some things manifest the way you thought they would. But it's time, like Spirit is saying, all is in perfection. Your life is unfolding as it should. And if you can get in touch with this sense of playfulness, releasing that control, you'll be able to see more of that and put it in that perspective. You've got Father God that comes up for you. And notice it says there, radical truth. The radical truth that you are covered and loved and guided by something larger than yourselves. Whether you call it God, goddess, because we've got all this feminine, powerful feminine energy that's here for you, but there's a radical truth in the fact that your life is divine and unfolding perfectly. And look at this totally different deck, but you've got a repeat of this message, compassion. I mean, can't make it up. If you've been too hard on yourselves, pile number one, here you have it. Your guides are saying, let go of that control. Let go of that need to judge yourself or be judged by the timing of your life, what's shown up in your life. Convention can also sometimes indicate comparison to others, what we have compared to others, how others may seem to have more or an easier time of it, etc. We it's human behavior to do that, but this radical truth in this Father God card coming with this doubling down of compassion, I feel like this is compassion for yourself, compassion for your circumstances, and compassion for the timing of your life and how it is unfolding. You've got a wall here and there's obstacles. And so that, I think, is Spirit doubling down for you all, pile number one, and saying, this is a timing thing for you. And meaning, if your life, if you are not where you really want to be right now, or if, going back to that Six of Swords, you're ready to you just want to get forward, you want to move on, you want something different, you want some excitement, you want more balance, going back to that Justice card, that all of those things, it may feel like there's so many obstacles to you having that because of a lack of control, or you can't just sort of flip a switch and it happens. But Spirit is here to say that's okay. Take this time when things are slowing down, when things aren't happening as fast as you like, or when you are when you're feeling a sense of lack or limitation. That is the time to loosen up, have compassion for yourself right now in this moment. Trust radical truth that things are unfolding as they should. And a gemstone that will help you during this time is a moonstone. And it says secret. If you want to keep a secret, you must also hide it from yourself. That's interesting. There's some reflection here for you all to close out your reading, pile number one. Spirit wants you to reflect on what has you more focused on the obstacles than on the openings. Remember, Spirit gave me the sort of theme of this reading for the new moon in Leo was your biggest flex. Your biggest opportunity to shine, your biggest way to show up for yourselves right now and live the life that you came here to live, pile number one. And for you, it is recognizing that it's time for a rebirth. And you get there not by asserting control, not by taking up okay, I got to learn this, I got to do this, it's not that. It's relaxing, letting yourself feel enchanted with life, giving yourself time to play or be around circumstances, environments that are playful. Some of you might even want to go sit near a playground or a swimming pool or someplace where children are and watch their carefreeness, just being carefree, being playful, being relaxed, knowing that they don't have to worry about what's for dinner or, did the bills get paid, right? It's really being in the moment. That is what Spirit wants for you at this time, right? And keeping in mind something around November. It may be that this rebirth occurs between now and November, but there's something that's growing for you, that's coming into play for you all, pile number one, and you'll see some sort of noticeable difference by November. And remember all this heart energy, getting into the way you feel, and the way you feel is going to be what gets you past any obstacles. All right? Woo, that was good. I am so amazed at how many, synchronous sort of cards came from the different decks for you all, pile number one. Definitely a message that you were meant to have. All right, moving on to pile number two. Those of you who were drawn to the tankard and the time frame of January, let's see what Spirit has. You have adaptability that comes up. The moon in Gemini. So maybe doing things in more than one way, learning to be more adaptable, flexible, especially in your thinking, because this is in Gemini energy. And we have the Tower. So for if there have been major changes, major shakeups in your lives directly, or if you're just tuned into how many major shakeups and changes that we're witnessing globally right now, among all of us. I took a sip of my tea. Ooh, that's hot. That's Spirit is saying, now's the time to be adaptable. Go with the flow. Allow your thinking, your words, your speech, your communication. Think more about the tower symbol of being, once things are taken down, old systems are taken down, old ways of being are taken down. It gives you the opportunity to rebuild. And sure enough, you have a 3 of Wands here, which is a card of growth and building and planning. It's a card of movement. And it's if something is already in motion. So for some of you, if there has been, I'm also going back to this January time period, because for some of you, this could be this past January as opposed to something coming up in the future, like the next January. If you have had a really big shakeup in your life, particularly around January or sometime this year, there is a regrowth process that is already underway. And what helps speed it along is this adaptability. You've got the 8 of Swords here. So some of you are having to pivot. That would tie into adaptability. You're having to pivot from something that, I don't know if this is work related, relationship related. I feel like it's both for some of you. Like it'll apply in one way to some of you and others, and in another example for others of you. Some of you have lost people and some of you have lost circumstances. Some of you are very, very worried about the future. Like, is everything falling apart? What can I do about it? But remember, you all, with the 8 of Swords as an energy in tarot, it is very often about the inner fears that we create for ourselves. It's almost like, the saying, what you focus on grows. So there's some of that here. Your spirit guides are saying in a cautionary and loving way to you, the more you focus on what could go wrong, the more you can invite more of that sort of energy rather than the growth. Because check this out. You've got the 7 of Wands that comes as well. So the Three of Wands having to do with an opportunity to grow, staying focused on growing past this shift, what makes you have to adapt. And the Seven of Wands is about having the confidence that you can do it. Many people call it the stand your ground card. Noticing here, even in this artwork, like focus your, eyes on the prize, staying focused on going forward in that Three of Wands. So you've got in between, on either side of this major catalyst card here that I feel like your major message here, adaptability. That's how we opened up your reading. You've got two competing energies, and Spirit is basically saying, take your choice. Do you want to stay in that spirit and feeling of being tied up and bound and trapped and it's out of my control, it's too big, what can I do about it? Or do you want to get into a spirit of, new moon in Leo, growth, shine, your flex, Three of Wands. I can grow past this. I will grow past this, but it's going to take me being very keenly focused on what my next set of goals are. And I may have to be adaptable in how I approach it. Change your tune. Doggone if I didn't just look down and see that. Change your tune. Does that not tie into adaptability, you all? Whoa. Direct message from Spirit. No way around it. And keeping in mind, you've got this tankard as your catalyst. Celebration, fun, and enjoyment. Like, that's where you're headed. That's what's there for you. And it is something that it's just taking a shift in how you are, what the stories that you're telling yourself at this time about what's possible. Pile number 2. That's about, it's like what you tell yourself can come true. You have that kind of power and that kind of magic. So that's why Spirit is saying change your tune, because it's easy to get caught up in the not so good scenarios, and they're saying stay with, know what you want and do not budge from it, because celebration and fun can come. And if we are looking forward rather than backward, by January of 2026 you have a learning experience. You have been going through a period of learning, and that could also tie closely into this tower energy that came for you, pile number 2, that it wasn't meant, this time of radical change, of maybe even abrupt change, because we know sometimes that's how the tower can be, an abrupt change. Someone transitioning suddenly that you didn't expect, or a health diagnosis that came out of the blue, or whatever, a job situation, or someone close to you impacted by a job situation, whatever that is. Spirit is saying take it as a learning experience rather than something that's trapping you or making you feel limited, having limitations. You have the Knight as an attribute that comes up for you, and it says loyalty, romance, and chivalry, a love of honor. Knights in tarot, as many of you know, is movement. I'm going to put this over here near your growth, because this loyalty, and we know that's also an attribute of Leo. Leo the lion, very loyal. Romance and chivalry. Chivalry, bravery, courage. Stand your ground in that energy of that Seven of Wands. Changing your tune, finding your power from feeling like it's beyond your control. It's feeling victimized almost by some things that may be happening either directly to you or to the world around you, being in that frame of mind, to going in this direction of changing your tune to say, but I am moving. No matter what, I'm going to get these bands off of me so that I can be free to move. There is the unknown that comes for you. And that's not a bad thing, even though that's sort of a shadowy image, right? But the unknown is what comes and brings the learning experience. Spirit is saying for you all, some of you are a little stubborn, and I'm saying that lovingly, and I feel like that's coming from the guides, right? What do I know? That there's a little stubbornness there. There's a little attachment to how you typically do things, right? And think about it. We're all creatures of habit. But you are at a time in your life, pile number 2, where the old way just has to go. And your biggest flex is in discovering your new tune, changing your tune, discovering just how adaptable you can be in ways that may even surprise you. You may do something or take on a project or start a new job or create a business or start a relationship, start dating again, or whatever it is that's nudging you to go in a different direction and be adaptable. And it is the unknown. And there's a part of the unknown that can be frightening, right? Going back to that 8 of Swords, it can be a little disconcerting, but you have to trust your vision. That's why you've got that 3 of Wands there. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Open to change. Man, oh man. One day I am, even though it'll make the taping longer, one day I'm going to tape and show you guys how I pull these cards. I'm reading today. I've literally got, I don't know, I'm gonna move the camera for a second. I don't know if you'll be able to see it over there. I've got 15 decks stacked up there that I pull from. 15 decks, you all. Like, I don't know what's coming. And I think that's one reason why I so enjoy doing these readings for you, because it amazes me. It affirms my faith in a higher power and in spirit and in our spirit guides and our angels and our deities. Because look at the messages that they give just from me opening up boxes, praying over them, and then I pull the card face down until I'm ready to do this for you. Like, so open to change. Adaptability. Change your tune. You see? Right? Different decks. Message building for you all. You've got reflection that comes. I said early on in introducing this video that we know, while we have this new moon in Leo, that we've got a lot of planets in retrograde right now. So that is a time to reflect, to not necessarily feel like you got to do it, have a do-over or starting from scratch, but adaptability, changing your tune, reflecting on, okay, if if this life has changed, there's only so much I can do about that. There is the unknown, but I can approach it as my life unfolding, and I'm learning from the experiences that I'm having. I'm reflecting on how things have unfolded and how I can grow from it. Going to that 3 of Wands. You've got a portal that's open up for you, and I'm led to pull this card at the same time. They call it in this deck Boo Boo the Fool. It's a playful energy, which actually goes really well with this new moon in Leo, talking about playfulness. But I want to direct your attention to these words: possibilities and potential. A portal opening for you to possibilities and potential. And that's the unknown, because you don't know. Possibilities and potential are not things that you can point to, like we can point to these cards right now and say this and this. This is yet to come. This goes into that 3 of Wands, where you have the vision focused forward for what it could be. But there's a portal for you, and that portal is open. It's free. There's nothing about you that spirit says you have to be bound up. There's a freedom here. There's a quality of freedom, and it's changing your tune, changing what you've been telling yourself, pile number 2, changing what you allow others to tell you. If you've been around, a lot of people are trauma bonding right about this time, right? A lot of people are, venting around what all the heck is going on in the world, not being able to necessarily change it one by one, but collectively we have an opportunity to raise our vibration, literally changing the tune. And here comes delight. Find the joy. Find reasons to celebrate your life. Find people who bring you delight. That could be something as simple as going out to dinner, having a gathering, whatever that is, but it's an energy pattern of celebrating the earth as well. They're showing that maypole there. Celebrating the earth, celebrating the gifts of the earth, celebrating nature, celebrating the fact that despite all the darkness that we see happening around us right now, that there is still light, right? There is still so much light. All right? You've got a gestation period in the winter's dream. Now, notice one of your cards was January. Winter's dream, a gestation period. That's the unknown. And that's also why you need this portal and with possibilities and potential, because you are undergoing and that reflection, because you are opening up to change. Spirit is saying you're opening up to change, and there is delight waiting for you. Remember as well, another one of your catalyst cards is this tankard, and whether you take that as literally imbibing, but it represents the celebration, fun, and enjoyment, delight, right? So really hold fast to that in terms of what your guides are saying is available to you. That is the possibility and potential for you, pile number 2. And it's about you going through the portal to get there. And the portal comes by changing your tune, changing what you are saying, changing how you are thinking. When you catch yourself getting into that familiar pattern of, well, it could, but yes, it might, but, if only, all of that, changing your tune. This can happen. This is possible. I can have this. It's okay to feel good. It's okay to party. It's okay to have a good time, even in the midst of, what we know is suffering and all of the things that are going on in the world. I don't have to be consumed by it. And if I raise my vibration high enough, then that vibration might reverberate out and actually help create better in the world for others. Okay? A stone that will help you during this time is tiger's eye. I love that it's a fiery stone, and it says courage. Being deeply loved by someone gives you strength, while loving someone deeply gives you courage. I feel like that's also a love note between you and your spirit guides, and perhaps you and a loved one. Okay? The courage, 7 of Wands, that courage and that confidence, the courage to be adaptable, the courage to be willing to go through the portal, to be willing to face the unknown, to be willing to embrace possibilities and potential, not knowing exactly what that is, but just being open to embracing it. That's where your magic comes in. That's what this new moon in Leo brings for you, pile number 2. All right, I hope that was helpful. I'd love to hear your comments about it, how that impacted you. All right, and moving on now, our last pile number 3. Those of you who were drawn to the July and bread. All right, let's see what comes. July and bread, a period of prosperity and abundance. Okay, what comes for you? We have speculation, Jupiter in Cancer. Speculation. Cancer ruling the family, the mother, loyalty, the home. Some of you may be thinking about moving with the 5 of Swords. So yeah, there's that ties in really well to speculation. What are you considering? Well, let's keep going. 10 of Pentacles. Your financial future, your families, going back to Cancer energy, your families, your home, moving, how you want to live. Queen of Wands, making some decisions confidently. And the 5 of Cups. There's a little fear there. There's a little fear. And because I'm looking at bread, a period of prosperity and abundance, but speculation. Pile number 3, some of you are not feeling adequately supported. And whether that is purely financial and or around your income. There's an opportunity here for you to start to recreate and generate it. And generate what takes you, what gets you to the next level. And maybe that's also why Spirit is giving you this Jupiter in Cancer with this speculation, because there's an opportunity here for you to take a chance on what will increase and prosper you. But there's a little there's a way that you have to go about it, that you trust in your own ability to speculate. You have to trust your own decisions. And that's why, thank you, Spirit. That's why the Queen of Wands is here to speak to you or speak for you, because she's confident. She will charm her way. She will move her way through things. Like, she does not let anything stop her. When she sets her mind to something, it's going to happen. That fiery energy, right? So it's about adjusting what you may be bracing for disappointment. It's about saying, no, I know that this will work out for me. I just have to take the time to think it through. Take some risks, but take calculated risks. That's what the Five of Swords is here for. You have seek healing with strength and guidance. Okay. Health is coming up to me now. Actual health. Healing can be both spiritual and physical. The fact that I've got this Ten of Pentacles here brings me into the physical realm. The fact that I'm looking at the Queen of Wands takes me sort of in a more spiritual direction. You need, okay. There's a door that's opening for, I even noticed when I looked down here, I saw portal in this Five of Cups, right? You see that keyword? There's a door that's opening, or that you are looking for. That's part of your speculation, looking for, searching for healing and strength and guidance. You're ready to grow. You're ready to, you need your tribe. You want your tribe. You want your people. You want, because going back to that Cancer energy, you want your people. You want your tribe. You want loved ones. You may be feeling a little isolated or a little shut out or a little misunderstood right now. But Spirit is saying, now's the time to seek that healing from that. And when you get that, it builds your strength and guidance. You get the guidance and it builds your strength through the healing. So recognizing your need to adapt, more healing modalities in your lifestyle right now, whether that's more cleansing routines, meditation, whatever it is that both in a spiritual way and in a physical way heals you. Mind, body, and spirit just came to me. Mind, body, and spirit, seeking healing in all of those areas. You have the liberator that comes as an archetype, and it says freeing yourself and others from outmoded beliefs. Release negative thought patterns. Five of Swords and that Five of Cups. Both of which, fives, as many of you know, fives in tarot can be where the energy is a little bit challenging. So challenged emotions and challenged thoughts, but you want to be free of those with that liberator that comes. And you are liberated through healing modalities. And I keep being drawn to this word seek, because it feels almost like for some of you, you can't do it by yourself, or you're not meant to do it by yourself. You don't need to feel like you have to do it by yourself. So find a group, find a teacher, find something that gives you an avenue to, okay, this is the path that I can take, and walking that path gives you the strength and the guidance that you need. You have Pachamama that comes up, blessings from the Great Mother. Wow. What an honor. What an honor that is. So she comes, Mother Earth comes to bring you strength and guidance. And your healing comes in nature. It comes from the earth. Now, to the extent that this is both spiritual and physical, pile number 3. So earth meaning even like drinking certain teas, eating certain fruits or vegetables, like things of the earth that do bring the body stability and healing. That's one aspect of it. And then, of course, the spiritual aspect of it. Finding, some of you may be drawn to shamanism, some of you may be drawn to paganism, things of the earth, doing things in the earth, hoodoo, voodoo, things that where you utilize root work, conjuring work, where you utilize things of the earth for light and healing purposes. All right, it says be real. Wow. Be real. Full moon in Aquarius. Be real. Don't feel like you have to bury or hide your truth and your fears, I'm being told. Like, it's okay to show your vulnerability. And no, you might want to pick and choose who you show that vulnerability to, but it's okay for you to recognize that you don't have to be on all the time. It's okay to show up and be real and be authentic. If you're going through something tough, it's okay. That is a part of what liberates you. And that is a part of what heals you. There's courage that comes up for you. And look at all those rough waters, right? Courage to cross a really rough time. Some of you have been through it. And I have to think, because you were drawn to this catalyst bread, and you've been through it financially. But also, you've been through it because of what others were going to offer or should have offered that either didn't stay or didn't materialize. And it kind of left you holding the bag. That is rough. I mean, that's, talk about a 5 of cups and rough water. So, but hey, Spirit is like, this healing journey that you're going to go on by embracing Mother Earth, Pachamama, this is what gives you courage. This is what gives you the strength and guidance that liberates you so that you can move on from this period. You've got your root chakra now. Oh, if we ain't talking about confirmation of something with you all, pile number 3 is about your safety. And some of this for you all goes way back. I mean, this is like, was childhood safe? Was the home safe? Was the environment safe? Like, because all of this jumped off from your that Cancer energy, speculation, Jupiter in Cancer, growing, or sometimes the lack of growth or the lack of stability. So working in your root chakra, working in what makes you feel stable. And that is also root chakra being so deeply connected to the earth, right? Remember going back to that Pachamama energy. So there's some stability that you need so that you do not have to worry about your financial prosperity and or your health as well, because health is wealth. We know, we say that as a cliche, but health is wealth as well. You have the Huntress, a soul awakening. That is a spiritual energy that's available to you. The Huntress. And she's very earthy as well. I'm going to put her over here with the Pachamama. Your soul wants to be awakened, and that has to do with this healing that you're going to go through, that your guides want you to seek. It may be an entirely new modality. It may be some sort of, it could be Reiki, it could be tarot, it could be branching out into some other form of energy healing. It could be whatever. It could also have to do with healing arts around the earth, learning herbalism and things like that, because that awakens your soul. And you've got two things here energetically that Spirit is saying, find it, go get it, go seek it, because it's there for you. A huntress does what? When we think of hunting, you go get it. You're on and seeking. Go get it. Go get it. Speculation. It's there to find. Flow. I'm drawn back to this card as well, because see the difference in those energies. There's one where it relies on courage because you're being rocked all, every which way, and then there's the other with that bright sun shining, with the birds showing you the way, with the current of the water taking you in the direction that you need to go. There's a flow that's available to you. Lay of the land. You got ancestral wisdom. Oh my gosh, pile number 3. When I look at this alongside the fact that Pachamama came for you and this ancestral spirit of the huntress came for you, there's a lot of healing that is available to you right now through ancestral wisdom. And when I say ancestral, I'm not just talking about your bloodline. I'm talking about the wisdom of the elders, wisdom of those who have gone on to the afterlife, who have lived in the earth. That is one distinction of ancestors. It usually refers to a human being who has passed on. So it doesn't have to be this ancestral wisdom. It doesn't have to be your bloodline, but it can be, Gandhi just came to mind, or Yogananda, or any teachers whose work, Louise Hay, Wayne Dyer, many teachers whose wisdom has been left with us. That's what I'm getting in terms of seeking this healing, okay? And finally, a stone that will help you is the Rudraska, and maybe Rudraska. I am messing that name up all the way, but let me hold it up for you, all right? Finding your Zen. We've seen those, like the mala beads in the that the monks, the Buddhist monks wear. Those are very popular right now. You can get the bracelets. We see those happening a lot, but that energy will help you right now, and that energy is very tied to the root chakra, getting you grounded, making you feel safe. That is another very powerful aspect of Cancerian energy, is the safety of the home, the safety of the family, the safety of the people that you love. A lot of you have had a lot of issues around feeling safe for various reasons. And this is a time where Spirit is asking you in this new moon in Leo, and your biggest flex is the ability to seek through the earth, through the teachers, through the wise council of elders, how to tap back into your sense of safety and healing and being vulnerable, so that you can know that you're taken care of. It's okay to be real, because that's what sets you free. Going back to your liberation, your liberator card, that's what sets you free. And it also is what allows you, because liberator could be you becoming someone who goes through this process and therefore uses it to liberate others. That would also be a very Cancerian energy. All right? All right, you all. I hope that was helpful. I'm going to go ahead now and do please let me know what you thought. I'm going to do my quick run through of the decks that I used closing out. So we had the Carolyn Mrs. Archetype cards. We had our Gemstone Whispers deck. We had Shaman's Dream. Spell casting cards. Soul Coaching by Denise Lynn. Moonology Messages. There are several versions of the Moonology decks. This is the Messages deck. Secrets of the Ancestors Oracle. Spirit Mamas Oracle cards. Spirit Mamas. Time Traveler's Oracle. the law of positivism, the oracle of awakening. I used the Bright Futures Tarot and the Radiant Wilds Tarot. The Oracle of the Radiant Sun. Had to use that, right? New Moon in Leo. And your catalyst cards came from the tea leaf fortune cards. All right? All right, you all. I wish you the absolute best. I hope that was helpful. I really do. And I will talk to you real, real soon. Bye.